Blog Talk Radio.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Superhero Academy. This is your host, Crossfire the Crusader, and I am online with one of our visiting professors this week, Golden Valkyrie, and one of our guests, Dragonheart. And everybody say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know some of you had talked to online the past couple of weeks. We're excited about this week. We were supposed to have the Crimson Fist. I was going to be talking about what him and Metadata do there in Georgia, but there has been some scheduling conflicts. He's dealing with a little thing we call life and jobs, and I applaud him for taking care of that first. So we'll get him on here another time. It's not going to be an issue. We're going to let him take care of real life and worry about radio shows at a later time. So today, our backup plan came through. Silver Sentinel will be joining us here in a little bit, and Golden Valkyrie will be kind of taking the helm and explaining to us their recent mission that they did, among other things, on Free Comic Book Day. We had a pretty interesting, looks like a pretty interesting day there. So, Golden, I'm going to turn this over to you and just kind of tell us all about the Free Comic Book Day, the food drive, and everything that you did, and the interesting people you got to meet that day.
Well, we went down to Albany and met up with Earthworld Comics and the Regional Food Bank, and we managed to. We also met up with the Heroes of Albany because they're the ones who kind of put this together. They're the ones who got everything set up, and we just showed up and helped out. And we all had a lot of fun. But yes, we worked with the Regional Food Bank. We met a woman there named Tracy, who's from the food bank itself. Wonderful lady. We had a lot of fun with her, and we at the end of the day, we managed to get 5 full boxes of food, and that was, that's pretty good.
Wow, that's fantastic. So now, the Heroes of Albany, how big is their membership? Who all is on their team?
That would be...
My old mind kind of forget.
Yeah, that would be Spirit of Albany, Fox of Albany, he used to be Kick-Ass of Albany, but then he went through a name change and became just Kicks, because that's what everybody called him. So, and then there was also the Spade, a relatively new hero who showed up.
I've actually gotten to know the Spade here in the past week or so, talking to him on Facebook. He seems like a pretty passionate individual anyway. So, that's...
Yeah, I didn't get to talk to Spade much, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, I don't know what to ask next. I was prepared for one show, now I'm working on another. So you said you were able to get, 5 boxes of food?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
4 or 5 boxes of food you were able to gather for the food pantry?
Yes, and that goes to, that actually goes to several different food pantries, because the Regional Food Bank, it's kind of like a bank, and then some of the food pantries in our local area are like ATMs. So they get all of their food from the Regional Food Bank, and it goes all over the upstate New York.
You know, I really didn't know how those worked. I know our church had done some stuff with the food pantries locally years ago, you know, and we'd volunteer and sit down. You know, people would volunteer and sit there and, you know, help box foods up and stuff like that. But I didn't know much about, you know, the background of the food pantries. But, you know, those are really good programs. You know, a lot of people need that. We were down on our luck, the food pantry helped us out quite a bit. So, how many hours were you out there doing the selections on that before you had that much food?
Well, long enough to figure out that we needed sunscreen.
Oh.
We were we were out there from 11 to 5, I believe.
Well, be thankful you weren't in Florida. It would have been worse.
Well, we actually we were going to be out there until 6, but we got rained out. So we still did pretty good, though. We had several hours worth of outside time, and I got to try out my new uniform, which worked great. So there are pictures. Earthworld Comic actually has a Facebook page, so there are pictures of this up there. So, and you can see all of the heroes together.
Did the costume come from Jack from Hero Gear, or was it from another source? Your new costume?
It was actually from another source.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not from Hero Gear, but I'm sure that Hero Gear could easily make something like that. So, you know, because Jack's got some good stuff up there.
Yeah, I like his patches. Yeah, they're pretty badass.
Yeah. We should have told Jack to turn down the radio before you said that. Jack does do some awesome work. I honestly, if I could afford if I was going to afford to have one made professionally, that's definitely where I would go. He does such good work.
Yeah, he
does. Like him. He's doing a particular. I know lately he's been experimenting with doing like masks and stuff like that, and I really like more elaborate masks. I really like the direction that he's going with that.
Yeah, he was also trying to get some permissions from like Marvel and DC to do some licensed characters, so he could do like Superman, Batman type costumes.
Oh boy,
you got to have permission for those. But he was attempting to get the licensing so he could make those and offer those on his site also. Yeah.
Well, he made a mask for Silver Sentinel at one point. Actually, he didn't end up using it because. Unfortunately, the mesh over the eyes was causing some issues. But other than that, it looked great. We sent it out to the Rosas, and they have blast with it. So, but yes, the mask was still very cool.
It blocked the way of the beard, didn't it?
Actually, no. Due to popular demand on Facebook, he ended up with a beard hole for it.
Oh.
So it actually had an open mouth and chin because everybody was saying if you get a mask, it has to have a beard hole.
Yeah. The beard is to be revered.
Yeah, I know. I live with the beard. I am in constant, I'm in his awesome presence constantly.
Yeah. Maybe he needs something like the Watchman has, that rubber type mask that he has. With the open eyes, that might be a little more to his needs.
Yes, I finally decided to go without a mask because my glasses are a pain in the behind to get a mask under.
Oh yeah, trust me, I understand that.
Yeah, and I don't have contacts. If I had contacts, I'd definitely wear a mask. But yes.
Yeah, my vision ain't 20/20 either. I wear sunglasses, but like when I wear my costume, I usually, when I'm around someone, if I have to notice like fine detail, I try to stay relatively close and stuff, so I don't have to be squinting all the time. Yeah,
I know that feeling. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses, unfortunately.
Well, so going back to our subject, Val, just from your experience, one of the things we try to point out is ways that we can duplicate successful missions. If you was going to offer advice to somebody that wanted to start a food drive or a situation like that, what your thoughts on observations on that?
Well, I think part of success with this was we did it at an event. That was part of the success because you had a lot of people that were coming in. They'd see it and it's like, oh, there's a food drive going on. Well, let me go see if I've got something that I can give. You know, we had a lot of people that we had a few people that stopped by and said, oh, you know what, I've got a lot of stuff in the pantry that needs to go. It's still good, but I'm not going to use it. And one guy actually brought up, what was it, I think 3 bags full of food that he wasn't using in his pantry. So, and it was still good stuff. It was stuff that was needed.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I think that was part of why it did so well. Another part was, you know, we were there, heroes, you know, actual people, you know, dressed up as their superhero selves.
That's what I was going to ask, because I was wondering, like, one of my questions was going to be, did you notice a visible effect in the enthusiasm and in the, I guess, the charity or giving aspect of what you did, because you were in costume and maybe people were curious and felt, you know, the need to say, hey, you know, let me find out what these people are doing, because it's kind of cool, the stuff they're wearing, and they look slick and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We did get a couple of kids that came up that were quite interested in us, and, well, you know, a kid's enthusiasm can sometimes lead to a donation there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, can I give a can? So, and actually for the kids that didn't have anything to donate, Silver and I had brought down like 3 cases of soup that we weren't gonna, or that we'd had for a while that we intended to give to a food bank, but never did.
Right.
So we'd give the kids something to donate, because Earthworld had actually set up several prizes, you know, that you could get.
Okay.
So, but yes, we had a lot of kids come up to us. A lot of people came up to take pictures. One person actually came up, very nice car, black car. It wasn't. He pulled up, had the bat signal on the, or had the, yeah, it was a bat signal sort of thing, or icon, Batman icon. There we go, on the hood of the car, and he started playing Batman theme music. He pulls up right there in front of us and starts playing that.
Wow, that is so cool.
You know, Mr. Wayne has been told not to come to these events anymore. I don't know why he keeps doing that.
Yeah, you know, he just cut the charade and goes straight to the point.
We know he's just a businessman. He needs to get out of Batman's business. You know?
Yeah, besides, all that stuff is tax deductible, so he can just write it off.
Exactly. Like anybody's going to believe that Bruce Wayne really is Batman. He won't even hang out with him. Never see them together.
But yes, our uniforms did draw a lot of attention to the food drive itself.
Fantastic.
You know, one of the questions I like to go back to at these events is, what was the? There's two things that will happen in the period of the day. You'll have one moment that is just sticks in your head as inspiring, encouraging, and you'll have one moment that you just sit down and laugh every time you think about it. So what were your two key moments there? What interaction with people? What statement? What happening did you find that was just really encouraging to you to do these kind of events? And which thing? What child said what that just made you laugh and laugh and laugh?
Well, the Batmobile incident really, really did make me laugh. So, because that and there was a guy there that was a little. Well, he was hitting on me a little bit, which was kind of interesting.
And he was doing this in front of Silver? Does the man have a death wish or what?
Well, no, Silver wasn't there, thankfully. Otherwise,
good.
Otherwise, there would have been issues.
Yeah,
but I think the most... Silver would have had some serious issues.
Yeah. Wow.
But I think the most interesting moment, the most inspiring was... when there were these 5 kids that came up, you know, 3 of them were dressed up, a couple of others, they were, you know, a little older, but, you know, and kind of like they're out of the dressing out in public unless it's Halloween phase. So those kids going up there, interacting with them. I think just interacting with all of the children in general was really inspiring. Being able to see a smile on their face and just cheer them up. Give them something to donate. Encourage them to donate. Just show them that good feeling you get when you put a can in.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because I think the building blocks of charity and of basically kind of setting a foundation for a person to, as they get older, to be charitable and to kind of steer themselves in the right direction. You got to start it when you're very young, because the thing is, children, you're most impressionable when you're at a very young age, because that's when you're basically learning, what it is actually going to eventually end up making you who you are.
Yeah, so teaching them about charity, or teaching them to be charitable at a young age is a good idea.
Exactly. And if you infuse that with them from the beginning, then that's a part of their character. And that I do believe we have Silver Sentinel on the line, guys.
Yes, you do have Silver Sentinel, but please continue on. I'm listening in.
I just want to make sure you knew you were online, because I know you got a short window of opportunity here.
But yeah, basically that's what I was saying. You kind of, you set the building blocks as they're young, and then by the time they get older, that eventually, if you're lucky, that ends up becoming a permanent part of their character makeup, of their personality. Because life can make you very jaded, and it tests you. It tests your resolve, it tests your faith and what you think is right and wrong, and but if you have a strong foundation, then when you get tested, it's easier to endure those trials.
Oh, yes. I always enjoy when I'm out in character, whether it be Crossfire or Gizmo the Clown or whatever, because when the kids do come up, like you're talking about there, the look on their face, it's like there's something inside them that they're looking at the world, and for a moment somebody decided to color outside the lines. The world is, the world is dull, it's boring, it's shades of brown, and all of a sudden here you got this larger-than-life, colorful figure standing in front of you, and amazingly to the kids, that character is there to talk to them. It's not somebody that wants to talk to mom and they have to be quiet. It's not somebody that wants to talk to dad and they have to go to their room. It's somebody that's there for them, and it gets down on their level and looks them in the eye and talks to them and makes them feel important, because they are. And the impact on the kids when you do something like that, it's so amazing. And some of the biggest hugs come from small packages.
Do you know the story?
I like the look on their face when they figure out that they're talking to a superhero.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's always a fun one.
You guys remember the story about the fireman that dressed up as Spider-Man?
Yes, that was a wonderful story.
Yeah. Basically, the little boy was autistic, and he had somehow, at a school, he somehow wandered away from the parents because he was very nervous. I think it was like one of his first days of school, and he didn't really know anybody and stuff like that, so he got nervous. And what autistic people do when they get nervous and stuff like that, it's very hard to gauge their reaction. So the kid actually ends up walking to basically what is essentially like a balcony or an edge or something like that, and he's there literally sitting there teetering, and they couldn't talk him down. And they were scared to death because they don't know if he's going to jump, because he was just so nervous, like looking back and very like kind of shaking and stuff like that. And they brought the firemen, they brought the police, they had the parents there, they had the teachers. I mean, the parents were imploring the child, please come, and they couldn't get him to move. One of the firemen that was there, he was I think this happened in Thailand. He used to do charity events for kids as a fireman, and he said, and he had a spare Spider-Man costume, back at the station. He overheard the mother saying, "My son reveres Spider-Man." It's like, to him, it's like he's standing in front of like the greatest person you could ever meet. So the fireman literally drove back to the station, grabbed the Spider-Man suit, put it on, came back, walked up to where he was visible with the kid, and he told the kid, he's like, son, come with me. I've come to fight the monsters, with you. Come with me. Together we can take down the monsters. Together we can be the heroes and save the day. The kid literally got up, eyes wide open, ran into Spider-Man's arms. So it wasn't a fireman that saved him. It was Spider-Man. It was that incredible face, that iconic, the mythos and stuff of the superhero that literally brought that kid from the brink.
Well, it's the same thing we've been talking about for weeks on here. Like last week we talked about the last 2 weeks with Geist and with the Rosen family, and how Ben has the action figure that Tom Fury made for Geist, that custom action figure. And Brandy said that he actually takes it with him to his doctor's appointments. He's got little Geist there with him to help him through his doctor's appointments and stuff. And we talked about the Heart Heroes organization and Power Capes, and how these children that have these congenital diseases of the heart, and they give them these capes. They design their own superhero capes, and they wear them to their doctor appointments and their hospital visits, because it helps them find their inner hero to face up against this monster that's trying to kill them, this heart disease. And
right.
It's not. There's no power inherent in the cape except the power of inspiration and encouragement. And like I said, it helps them find something inside themselves that gives them courage. That's what's important. And whether it's the fireman in the Spider-Man suit talking the kid off the ledge, or guys giving the action figure to the little kid, if the image of the superhero can help these children who are in these situations find the courage and the strength they need, then, I mean, that answers it all right there. That's the reason that anybody would do something like this. That's the reason that Spider-Man's not a superhero because he crawls on walls in the cartoons and the comic books. He's a hero because that's who the kid looks to for an example. He sees that one person can make a difference, that with great power is great responsibility. And he saw sitting there on that ledge that somebody cared enough to come talk to him, to encourage him, to reach out to him, and that the firefighter was able to talk him off the ledge because of that. And it didn't take anything away from any of the other firefighters or the psychologists or whatever was called in for that. That's just what it took to reach that one child.
Right.
That's the
like Doc
connects.
He connects with that. He connects with that, and that's what, like you said, that's what inspires him. And I mean, if your greatest inspiration for whatever reason is Spider-Man from having watched comics, and you're standing there before someone that you, for all intents and purposes, believe is Spider-Man, and he says, "Come with me. I'm going to save you. We'll fight the bad guys together." Then, I mean, right there, you literally believe that, as long as you're with him, nothing can harm you.
Exactly.
And that's what saved him.
Well, hey, I talked to Silver before the show. I want to go ahead. I've got about 6 minutes remaining. I want to give Silver a few minutes because we have the Silver Seal section that we do of the show. It's kind of hit or miss depending on schedules. But this week, a very special Silver Seal to a large group of people. And so I was going to let Silver Sentinel touch on that. If you want to go ahead and take the reins here for a moment.
Well, as a lot of people know, from May 15th to May 21st is National Police Week. It's a week that was set aside for the commemoration and remembrance of those heroes in blue that have fallen in the line of duty, and also to show our appreciation and respect for those who stand every day in the line of fire, ready to serve and protect, and if necessary, give their lives at any time in order to watch over us and keep us in a peaceful society. The Silver Seal of approval for this week goes to all the men and women in blue, our police officers out there on the street, our state troopers out there on the highway, our town constables walking the streets, everybody out there that wears a badge and serves and protects this great nation of ours, and not just our great nation, other nations as well. There's police everywhere. Wherever there's civilization and there's law and order, these are the men and women that are out there, making sure that things go as smoothly as possible. They don't always get the recognition or thanks. Sometimes they get a few complaints. Other times, people get a little upset with them, but they're doing their jobs, and wherever they are, I salute them.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got about 4 minutes remaining on the show. Getting ready to wrap things up here. I do want to kind of touch base on the upcoming shows. I thank you again, Silver, for filling in at the last moment here, and Val. Y'all are doing a great job. You've always got something going. It's inspiring. Y'all are definitely some very busy individuals, and I like watching your adventures. It's great to see how much stuff you're involved in. Next week we're going to be moving from charity work to a different area of the community when we have Zimmer, the New York Initiative, on. He's going to be talking about, among other things, the work the New York Initiative has been doing for the patrols that they do, the assistance they're offering to help find the serial killer up in New York, and the situation where in Texas where he's trying to help get his mother out of the problems that she's been having with the police force down there that's got her incarcerated, and his fight for her situation. I don't know how to actually put that. So we're gonna be having him on there. It should be quite interesting because anybody knows me and Zimmer have a love-hate relationship. We have we sit there and toss grenades back and forth at each other on the forums, but there's a mutual respect too that each of us has because we can get away with that. We've known each other for quite a long time through the community, and I know that when it comes right down to it, he's serious about what he does, and it's impressive. And so I've been trying to get him on over several weeks. It's going to be a good show. The following week, it's Memorial Day weekend, and we're going to have the Patriot on board. Yeah, that's May 29th. On the 5th, we're going to be talking about animal rescue again with Stormbringer. And then on the 12th, we will be from Metropolis, Illinois. Somewhere along there, I'll be doing the show live from there. So I will have Levian on there with me again, most likely, and whoever else. I don't no plan for that. We're going to let the event dictate what happens. It may just be a call in for 30 minutes and just see how excited we are. The 19th of June is Father's Day, and Samaritan Prime and I will be talking about child safety ID kits and other things that fathers can do to protect their kids. And on the 26th of June, Artista Roy will be returning to talk about gadgets and gizmos in a show called Trick Your Supermobile.
Trick Your Supermobile.
We had a lot of fun with this utility belt discussion. So now he's going to tell us things you can do to make your own Batmobile. So he's always a lot of fun. He's got a lot of interesting ideas. On the 3rd of July, right before the Independence Day, Valerie Finnegan will be here with us talking about the comic book Real Tales from Iraq. And then Eris from Skippy Town will be talking on June 10th about animal rehab therapy. And on the 17th of July, the busiest man in the real-life superhero community, the most active man, or something like that he tags himself, Danger Man, will be joining us. That's going to be that will be a really high, really fast-paced show, I have no doubt. So we're looking forward to that. I do have some things planned for we're going to be looking for that. And I promised a shout-out to, first off, from Captain Black. He wanted to shout out to everybody to just be your own hero, be out there fighting the good fight. And also promised a shout-out to the Joker, or Jade Creeper as we know him. He has started his show, and it's going to be going on. It looks like it's going to be a pretty decent show. I listened to the first show of it the other night, and so we're wishing him well, and hopefully we'll have a two-show when it's all said and done. And now, guys, to remind everybody, of course, don't take yourself too seriously. We'll end this with our usual ending theme song. And thank you again, everybody, for calling in. Dragonheart, Golden Valkyrie, Silver Sentinel, thank you. Earth Agent, Superman, Leviathan, Defender, everybody that's in the chat room, Patriot, we're glad to have you. And we'll see you next week. Same cross time, same cross channel. Y'all have a great day.
We're men in light. We roam around the forest looking for light. We're men in time. We run from the rich and give to the poor, that's right. We may look like cities, but what would you say, or else we'll put out your light. We're rob from the rich and give to the poor. That's right. We men.